Hi, let's talk about the top 6 countries for African American remote workers. Jared from Black Excellence, his channel on YouTube is called Black Excellence, has a video called 5 states Black Californians are moving to, right? Because now that people are working remotely, we have a little more freedom to go to some places that are a little less expensive, to places where we can live better on less money. I want to throw in some countries, right? I want to throw in some international destinations that where Black travelers, Black remote workers, Black digital nomads can go live well and still work well. So today I'm going to tell you my top 6 countries for Black digital nomads. Even if you're not already a remote worker, make sure you stick around to the end because I'll be giving you some of my favorite resources to help find remote work and some of my favorite resources for online income. All right? But first, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Stephanie Perry. I'm a year-round house sitter and I'm the creator of House Sitter School. I help Black women take a sabbatical to travel on a budget or move abroad on a budget. If that sounds interesting to you, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and make sure you turn on notifications. Make sure you ring that notification bell so you'll be notified when I post a new video. Welcome. All right, so how did I come up with this list? What are the criteria for being considered a Black-friendly digital nomad destination? Number one, these countries have some sort of digital nomad visa, right? These are countries where you're not going to have to just show up on a tourist visa and hope that you're allowed to work, right? Hope that you're allowed to make money and hope that you can renew your visa and stay a little bit longer, right? Because a lot of places give U.S. passport holders 60 days, 90 days, even 180 days. These places have visas that are longer than that, up to 2 years, I think, on just one visa, so that you can get somewhere, find a place to stay, and work there, stay there for a while, right? So these 6 countries have a specific digital nomad visa. Also, these countries have a reputation for being more Black-friendly than other countries, right? If you've seen my worst countries for Black travelers video, then you know Australia's not going to be on this list. You know China's most definitely not going to be on this list. These are countries where Black travelers feel welcome. Also, the countries on this list have fast, inexpensive internet. That's important when you're talking about working remotely or working online. So I'm sorry to tell you, South Africa is not going to be on this list. I visited South Africa in 2017 for 2 or 3 months, and I would not want to have to try to work remotely from there unless things have changed dramatically, right? The internet was slow and expensive, right? So these are countries that have fast, inexpensive internet. And these countries are just in alphabetical order. All right, so let's get started. Country number 1 for African American remote workers is Bermuda. If you know how much of a budget traveler I am, you're probably surprised to see Bermuda on this list. But Bermuda has some good things going for it. Their Work from Bermuda visa was newly released, and this visa only costs $263 US to apply for, which makes it a lot cheaper than the other digital nomad visas in the Caribbean. This is for people who work independently or people who work for a company that is not based in Bermuda. Also, there's no minimum income requirement. There are 8 Caribbean countries right now who have a digital nomad visa, but the rest of those countries' requirements are stringent, right? They require you to make $100,000, $200,000 per year, and the application fee for some of these visas is $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. So the Work from Bermuda digital nomad visa is much cheaper, right? It requires no minimum income and the application fee is just $263. I know the Cayman Islands digital nomad visa requires you to have $100,000 in annual income, and I've seen, I think Anguilla had a $1,000 application fee. I think that's what it was. So this one's a steal. Ursula from Caribbean & Co. has a blog post called 8 Caribbean Digital Nomad Visa Programs for Remote Workers. Of course, you know I have linked to that blog post in the description. So if you're all in on going to the Caribbean, check out the blog post and check out the variety of digital nomad visas that are out there for you. if you're coming from California, maybe, you know, a $2,000 application fee and the cost of living in Antigua is no big deal for you, right? Some of you guys come from places that are just as expensive. I don't. I'm currently in La Paz, Mexico. So when I look around on prices in the Caribbean, I'm like, no, thank you. But maybe this is the right thing for you. All right, country number 2 on our list of top 6 countries for African American digital nomads is Costa Rica. Costa Rica has a specific freelancer visa called Rentista that allows visitors to stay for up to 2 years. To qualify for this visa, you need to show proof of income of either $2,500 per month or $60,000 deposited into a Costa Rican bank. So this could work for people who have a stash of cash also, and not monthly income. This is another one with a reasonably priced fee. The Rentista visa application fee is $250 US. Costa Rica is a much more reasonably priced destination than Bermuda. So if the idea of working from a beach sounded awesome for the next, year or two, but you just don't want to pay the price to live in Bermuda, check out Costa Rica. All right, so country number 3 on my list of top 6 countries for Black remote workers is going to make some of y'all want to click off this video, but stay with me and hear me out, okay? Country number 3 is the Republic of Georgia, right? The nation of Georgia, not the state of Georgia. Y'all know I'm not talking about the state, okay? I'm talking about the country of Georgia, which is like Eastern Europe, maybe Asia. I don't know. But it's a place where Black travelers, every single Black traveler I have ever met who has visited Georgia loves Georgia. Calls it their favorite, okay? Rashida Dow from Sheeta's on the Loose and I interviewed 12 Black women who had taken a career break to travel. We talked to them about that particular career break. That interview series is called 12 Days of Career Breaks. We talked to Courtney Georgie Ellis. Courtney raved about Georgia, okay? I'm gonna link to that video up here as proof. I want you to know that I'm telling you the truth. Georgia is a destination where Black people go and love it. Tbilisi is the capital. It seems like Georgia is a place where you can get your prog on, right? If you're interested in prog, there's some stuff that looks like that, an old European city. But it's also full of outdoorsy, fun stuff, hiking, and I think Courtney said skiing. I don't know, because I don't do those things, but it looks like an outdoors person's paradise as well as like an old European city type of vibe throughout Tbilisi. Their digital nomad visa is called Remotely from Georgia. If you work remotely for a company that is not based in Georgia, or you work independently for yourself, this visa is for you. The income requirement to apply for this visa is $2,000 per month, and that's plenty of money to live comfortably in the nation of Georgia. Tbilisi, Georgia is on my list of 50 cities where you can Airbnb for $500 per month. $500 per month is plenty to get yourself a 1-bedroom Airbnb in Tbilisi. Look, I'm gonna show you. Let me show you. There are other countries in Europe that do have freelancer and remote work visas. I think Estonia was actually one of the first countries in the world to start a visa for digital nomads specifically, but Estonia is far up north and it's cold there, and I am team boycott winter, so I'm not interested in Estonia, but I would definitely consider Georgia. All right, another super inexpensive country where you can live well on your remote income is, of course, Mexico. I'm here right now. I'm in La Paz, Mexico. I recommend Mexico to you, even though they're our neighbor and doesn't seem like a super exotic place. I think Mexico is the total package. Now, Mexico doesn't have a digital nomad visa per se. I'm slipping this on the list because I can't make a list without including Mexico. But Mexico does have a temporary residency visa that allows you to come. They're open to people using this visa if they are remote or online workers, people who are not going to work in Mexico. The monthly minimum income requirement is $1,620 US or $27,000 in a bank account for the last 6 months. All right, country number 5 for Black remote workers is Portugal. Another non-surprise, Portugal is bae. I love Portugal. Portugal has a D7 visa, which is a passive income visa. So if you're making passive or online income, this is the visa for you. This is a visa that leads to permanent residency. You get the visa for the year and you can renew for up to 5 years and then apply for permanent residency in the country. People who are in Portugal on the D7 visa are entitled to health care in Portugal, and you're able to buy health insurance in Portugal, which is going to cost you probably around $1,200 per year. All right. So if your concern is health care, how do I make sure that I go to a country that will help me get health care? A lot of these digital nomad visas do not give you access to that nation's healthcare system, but Portugal's D7 visa does. So countries like Costa Rica, for example, Costa Rica does have universal health care in the country, but being there on the freelancer rentista visa does not entitle you to health care in Costa Rica. You'd need your own insurance. Now, Portugal does still require you to buy insurance, right? So you're still required to have insurance in Portugal, but you're also entitled to national health care in Portugal. I hope that wasn't confusing. The sixth country for African American remote workers is Mauritius. Two things. Number one, this list, I just realized, is not in alphabetical order. So sorry about that. Number two, Mauritius is another place where you're going to say, Stephanie, you just told us that the rest of these places are inexpensive, and now you're telling us about one of the world's top luxury destinations as a place to go as a remote worker. Let me tell you, I was floored when I started looking for Airbnbs in Mauritius and saw how inexpensive they are. Yes, Mauritius, which is a nation, East African island nation, right, even further east than Madagascar, right? Yes, this is a place where the rich and famous go to hang out. It's gorgeous, it's paradise, but the cost of living is not that bad, okay? For example, I'm here in La Paz, Mexico, also a beach destination, and I'm in an Airbnb that is 2 bedrooms. I'm paying $880 per month without any negotiation, right? I've never spoken to the person who owns this place, right? So $880 per month, 2 bedrooms, beach, Mexico, right? I've seen Mauritius Airbnbs, 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms for $1,200 a month on the beach in paradise, okay? So it's not super expensive. The cost of living in Mauritius compared to Lisbon, pretty equally. And you know, Lisbon is the place that I always hail to people as a place where you can live on less. Rashida says a lot of times the best way to look at it is these are places where you can live on what you're paying just for housing in the US, right? Just take your mortgage payment or your rent in the US. These are places where you can live all month on that money. Mauritius is one of these places. It's going to cost you a grip to get there. I looked at flights from New York, New Jersey, right? And I looked at flights from Maryland, DC, and we're talking $1,000 to $2,000 easy for a basic coach flight. But once you get there, you're there, right? In paradise. Mauritius is probably the only place on this list where you're not going to find other remote workers and digital nomads. It's more of a luxury resort type of place. So if that's important to you, if it's important to you to be around places that have infrastructure for digital nomads, this isn't the best choice. You're not going to find remote work centers or offices. You're not going to find cafes likely with, you know, good Wi-Fi where you can work all day. But it's Mauritius. A lot of the other places on this list will have more stuff for digital nomads, right? You can go to any city in Portugal, any city in Mexico, any city in, well, I don't know about Georgia. I only know of one city in Georgia, right? But you can go to these places. You can find other expats and other travelers and other digital nomads to hang out with. You can find cafes that have good internet that will let you hang out and work there. You'll find remote work places, I guess. I don't know if those are actually still open during COVID times, but if they are, they're there in those places. Not the same for Mauritius, but again, it's Mauritius. Their long stay visa is called the premium visa and it's free. There's no application fee for this visa. You have to work remotely for a company that is not a Mauritius company or for yourself. And you have to have proof of where you're staying, proof of accommodation in the country, but no visa fee. Okay, so I told you to stick around if you either don't have a remote job yet or your remote job won't let you leave the country and you need a new remote job so that you can bop to these places. I have a resource for you. The Work From Anywhere Toolkit lists some of Rashida's and my favorite remote work resources, some of the favorite places that we could go or that you can go. We're not looking for jobs, but some of the favorite places that you can go to find remote work. Find a job that you can do from anywhere. Get your Work From Anywhere toolkit at exodussummit.com/toolkit. We've got resources not only to find remote work, but resources to make remote work easier, right? I personally use a VPN to run my business from Mexico. There are some websites that I need to go to, but I need that website to think I'm in the US and not in Mexico. So I use a VPN to do that. I also use an international SIM card from Google Fi, so that I can keep the same phone number everywhere in the world instead of getting a different SIM card in different parts of the country or in different parts of the world, different countries. And there's a coupon link to Google Fi in the Work From Anywhere toolkit. Also, if remote work is not the thing for you, right? If you have an online business or you want to run your own online business to take you to another part of the world, we have some resources in the Work From Anywhere toolkit for you as well. This is how Rashida and I are able to live where we want in the world and not have to have a remote job, right? Turning what you know into a product or service. This channel is an example of that. So there are some resources for you in the Work From Anywhere toolkit as well. There's also information on getting travel medical insurance in the toolkit. Every single country on this list also requires you to have travel medical insurance to get into the country. We're not talking about insurance that covers you in the event that your bags are lost or stolen. We're talking about travel medical insurance that covers you in the event of hospitalization or medical evacuation. So links to those resources are also in the Work From Anywhere toolkit. All right, please let me know in the comments, where did I miss? Where did I mess up? Which ones of these places would you never want to work from? Which ones of these places are you ready to go to? I hope it's Georgia. Next up, please watch this video on the top 10 side hustles for full-time travelers. We've already talked about countries where you can live full-time on basically just what you're paying on housing in the US, right? So some of us have side hustles or could start side hustles that would be enough to support us in another part of the world. I have a video on the top 10 side hustles for these people, for you, for full-time travelers or for wannabe full-time travelers. If you like this video, please hit that like button and share it with someone who's ready to break out, right? Share it with someone who needs a change of scenery, who needs a new destination. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time. The toolkit does have the link to my list of 50 cities where you can Airbnb for $500 per month. Super helpful. Found this Airbnb with an awesome pool that has an awesome view of the awesome ocean. So get yourself a beach house in Mauritius. Invite me and my mom. We're coming. All right. We'll see you when you get there.